What is going on, guys? It's Kevin here with ModMyMods, and it is a wonderful, really hot and sticky, disgusting Tuesday afternoon, and it is time for the ModMyMods news update. Today we have a couple cool little things that we're going to be talking about. Nothing crazy. Actually, you don't really need to see the secondary monitor over there. Nothing crazy going on, but there are some updates. There are some news things that are happening, and I have a big old box that we're going to open up together. So, without further ado, let's take a look at what's going on here. So, when I was going across PC Mag and taking a look at some of the things that were up, CES 2021 has also been announced. They have the dates for it and everything like that. Hi, Maven. Thank you for joining us. The COVID-19 thing they're hoping is going to be just something in the wind, something water under the bridge per se. However, they are going to be doing the CES 2021 in person, so you can actually come and attend and see all of the new, greatest, and latest electronics. The dates are January 6th through the 9th. I would imagine that the mods crew will be there. We haven't confirmed anything yet. We actually haven't set up any plans or honestly anything like that yet. But I would have to imagine that we'll be there because typically we are. CES is one of our big events. We usually put together a couple builds, have them on display at the various booths, and it would be nice to see everybody again. You know, we take joy in meeting everybody and those new and those past, and we really enjoy being there and having a good time. Nick, yes, see you there. That dude, I got to meet you last year. That was awesome, and I am so stoked to actually have you there again this year, and hopefully we will be able to get together and get that going. Speaking of CES, hopefully there will be some new products on display. More importantly, hopefully they'll have this bad boy on display. The Vision D. No, this one's the Vision G. G for gangsta. Yeah, all right. So the Vision G is just supposed to be like a creator, a content creator board. I really can't stand that phrasing. Oh my god, content creator. Yeah, all right. You publish stuff on Facebook. Anyways, so this is aimed towards the people that are actually doing, editing and Photoshop, maybe, or trying to do those things. And this board is supposed to be relatively cheap, good for people that are on a budget, but yet still pack all of the power that you will need to actually do those things and operate, Adobe and GIMP and all that type of stuff. Because it is pretty resource heavy, especially on once you get into like After Effects and that type of stuff. Definitely cool to have around. But on top of that, hopefully at CES we'll also be talking about this stupid thing. It's not stupid, but I say that it's kind of stupid because it's like, oh my god, RTX 3080, where? Nobody really has any information, and until I actually hear it from NVIDIA, straight from the horse's mouth, and I mean, that looks neat. That's cool. It looks like the whole thing is a heatsink. But again, these are just photos that have surfaced from various places. So again, who knows? I haven't actually heard from NVIDIA or from anybody else that this card is ready to go or going to be released anytime soon. This is from Rock Paper Shotgun, so who knows where they got it from. Again, I like to get it from the source, not from somebody else. But what are you gonna do? So that was popped up, and maybe we'll see that at CES as well. And who knows? It might be something to talk about then. Maybe I'll do a news update while we're there at CES. Who knows? On top of that, which one? Well, yeah, we'll go to that next. Okay, so I was going through the Steam-powered library. I'm a big advocate of Steam. I've been playing all sorts of Valve games since they pretty much were created. Everything from Half-Life 1 all the way up. But I noticed that they're starting to put out the EA games as well on Steam. So I was like, okay, all right, what EA games did you get? Because I'm sure you didn't get all of them, but let's see. Let's see what you got. Command and Conquer. Okay, well, you released that on your own anyways. Okay, whatever. Fan favorites. All right, let's see these fan favorites. Dragon Age. Yes, that was a fan favorite. Crisis 3? The third one? I mean, the third one was all right. I wouldn't call it a fan favorite, but it was all right. Sure. Crisis 1 has always got a deep place in my heart. But 3? Okay, so that's all right. Plants vs. Zombie, the neighborhood thing. Okay. All right, cool. What else we got? Need for Speed Deluxe Edition. This was hot garbage. Need for Speed Heat. Ooh, also hot garbage. And then Need for Speed Rivals, which was, again, kind of hot garbage. Burnout Paradise. All right, you got me on one. I am happy to spend $4.99 on Burnout Paradise. That is actually quite a bit of fun. However, I'd play Wreckfest probably faster than I would play Burnout Paradise. But again, still kind of fun to smash things off the road and all that type of stuff. It looks like the one's under the EA subscription. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. So it's like if you already are doing the EA Origin thing where you get to you pay the $15, whatever, and get all these things. It seems like that's what you get. my lady loves Plants vs. Zombies, so I will probably have to buy that anyways. And she also loved the Need for Speed movie. However, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the games, because the games were good at one point in time, like Pro Street and Pro Street 2, and there were a lot of Need for Speeds that were great. But what is this hot garbage? That's all. This three banger that we got going here. That's just. Oh, there's the original Crisis. All right, fine. $4.99. I have the CD at home. I could just dump it on there. Crisis 2 Maximum Edition. Yeah, all right. Undercover was okay, but again, there weren't this many games that Oh, Shift. Oh. Anyways, so there are some of the EA games that are now available on Steam if you are a major Steam advocate like I am. Oh, Peggle. See, look, there you go, babes. You like Peggle. Actually, my lady's crazy. I'll just be sitting here on the computer because I have the Xbox Sync thing or whatever, and ba-ding, I have some crazy achievement that 0.03% of people have actually gotten, and, well, there she is. She's killing it on Peggle. But again, some pretty cool stuff. They do have some of the EA games that are now coming to Steam. As I said again last week, Command and Conquer, you got to see that on Friday for a couple days or for a couple minutes there. Highly, highly, highly think that you should get it if you have a nostalgic feeling like I did. I mean, just watching the stupid videos that are honestly still terrible quality and all of that. But it definitely brings you back to, I don't know, 96 when the game came out. I don't know. When did that come out? Probably it was before 96. I don't know. Anyways, thanks everybody for joining us. Let's see who we got here. We got Hyacinthus, I probably butchered that like crazy. Jason, thank you for joining us. Jenna, babes, appreciate it. Travis, awesome. Not Nancy. Captain, thank you for being here. And Burley's Tech, awesome. Thank you guys for being here. This is awesome. Hello from Leroy. You probably converted it last week. How's the new monitor? Oh, how's the new monitor? And Maven, obviously. So the new monitor is fantastic. I actually just posted a screenshot of Red Dead Redemption last night, and I can't tell you the amount of times where I just put my headset on and I have the monitor in front of me and I'm just in awe. I get stuck, like, because I'm supposed to be doing some mission or whatever, and I'm just like looking off the edge of a cliff into the scenery. Awesome. Can't tell you how much I recommend that panel, even though it is a VA panel, even though it is only 2K. That 165 hertz refresh rate is unbelievable. So for under $500, like I think it was like 420 shipped, and I got the protection plan on it too. Totally worth it. So definitely check that out. Back to other things that caught my eye, and I thought I would share with you guys. When I was going through Facebook today, I looked at the Lian Li page, and I saw this monstrosity. Yeah. So there's this massive distro block, and I didn't know what it was or what it was really for. It's for the Lian Li desk, which if you haven't seen the Lian Li desk, it's huge. You're supposed to be able to put your components inside and liquid cool everything and have enough space to do everything. EK apparently came out with this massive reservoir that distro plate that allows you to run all of these different lines in here. And I mean, if that's what you like, that's pretty cool. I had to do a little bit of research because I was like, wait, I don't remember seeing this on the EK thing. I must have stepped out for a moment to go to the bathroom. But apparently, yep. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's a real thing. I didn't. Okay, that's cool. If you're trying to make just the straight lines, great. I agree with you. It would not be fun to swap out any hardware. Are you kidding? That would suck so bad. Yes, I totally get the sarcasm. Unbelievable. But still kind of cool. You know, like I get what they're going for. I understand that they're trying to do the distro thing, and to be able to put it, just drop it into your desk, and to watch it actually work. Okay, cool. I get it. That's rad. EK coming up with some pretty out of the box type of things. That's typically what they're known for, right? They come up with all sorts of craziness. So pretty neat to see and do a little bit of research on that. Last week on Friday, I was talking about Thermaltake and their expo thing that they were having. I did find some information about the Fat Guy chair, which is kind of cool. The Fat Guy chair, which you have to go to thermaltakeusa.com, which is probably where you're going to get most of your information about it. However, the Ergo chair, which is the E500, the Cyber E500 chair, is the one that everybody is really in love with right now, which looks amazing. Don't get me wrong, it's fantastic. But I'll talk to you about that in 2 seconds here. But what I wanted to show you was that the X Comfort, the real leather, my leather's so soft. Yeah. So this one, the Fat Guy red leather chair, is just the one for me right here. I'm having a tough time finding it. You can find the regular chair, like this is the X Comfort, which is what it's called. This is the Comfort Air, I guess, but I can't find it anywhere besides Amazon, which is kind of upsetting. However, they do have the black version, and I don't know what the hell that is, but they do have the black version. They do have an orange version. This, I guess, is supposed to be like the Comfort, and then this is supposed to be like the racing chair. So if you're like me, I kind of like the big one. Again, I want to find a link to the red leather, the really nice looking one, because I mean, it's so pretty. Maybe we'll get the brown leather, but it doesn't look like they have the Louis Vuitton type of stitching on there. So I don't know. If you're picky like me, I kind of like that. But that's, beside the point. It also has the nice big pad for your back here, which is, again, it's nice. If you didn't have one before, it's definitely worth having it. But back to the Ergo chair. All right, so I was looking at this. I'm like, oh, wow, this is cool, man. Just for shits and grins, how much is this stupid thing, right? Because, I mean, ergonomical chairs are usually expensive. The reason being is that they are actually designed for your back and designed for you to sit up properly and not be a big slouch like me. When you sit how you're playing, slouching real bad. Yeah, no, it's not supposed to do that. And it's also not supposed to allow you to do that because it's an ergo chair. So I would hope that these would be, probably, I don't know, what, $1,000 or something like that, $500, $600, something like that, right? So I'm like, okay, well, where can I find this thing? So I went looking for a little bit. I'm like, all right, well, let me just copy and paste the Cyberchair E500 and, I don't know, I'll dump it into Newegg. And, well, yeah, how about 0 items found? Okay, well, let me dump it into Amazon. Maybe it's there. Nope. Okay. So then I'm like, all right, well, there's got to be something. So I went on Google and I started looking for it. And I found this place called PC Gear, which I have never, ever in my entire life have I ever heard of this website. Supposedly they have them, but maybe somebody can vouch for PCGear.com and can say, yeah, they're definitely good guys and know what they're talking about. But to be honest with you, if there's only one website in the United States that actually has this chair, it kind of makes me a little weary. So I'm like, all right, well, there's got to be a place you can find it. Oh yeah, there is, definitely. Thermaltake Premium, Taiwan website. Absolutely. For 1900, no, 19,900 NT. I'm guessing it's new Taiwanese dollar. So I'm like, okay, all right. Let me look and see what that translates to. All right, so let's see. Just because I see the chat popping up, I want a Herman Miller. Yes, those are awesome. Trust me, it's like the Han chairs. Those things are like $2-3 grand a piece, and they're amazing. But so Jonathan's saying that they're not out yet because of COVID, and they should be in stock soon. Okay, all right. Thank you for the update. I appreciate that. Yeah, and so I went and did some math because I'm like, I don't know how much this stupid thing costs. Well, it's about $669.40. Okay, that's actually under a grand. I'm impressed with that. So under a grand, you get this crazy ergonomical chair. It does look nice. It does feel nice. Let me tell you, I did sit in one, and they're just unbelievably comfortable. And they pretty much go. They're competing hand in hand with Cooler Master because they have a chair that's just like this. I think this one actually might have felt a little better, but again, you know, it's more about availability and price than it might necessarily be about comfort. You know, comfort doesn't necessarily always sell better than the price would be. So, that being said, I'm like, okay, whatever. That's pretty cool. That's not bad. I mean, the Thermaltake stuff usually is pretty decent. I mean, well, it's pretty good when you're buying the high-end stuff. Some of their lower-end stuff isn't the greatest. However, I do know that they were talking about their let's see if I can find the headset. They were talking about this new headset that they had out there that was like under $40, which was pretty cool. Wait, I click headsets, and you brought me to the headset accessories. Check, get your website. Oh, maybe you got to go to TT Premium, and that's where the headsets are. Maybe, I don't know. I wanted to show you the headset because there was one that was actually relatively cheap, which was cool. Let's see here, mouse hats. I'm not really sure what that means, but we'll click it. Maybe that means headsets. No, that's the mouse pads and stuff like that. Okay, well, I'll have to find it and I'll show you on Friday. But either way, they have a new headset that is out that is actually relatively cheap and relatively good too. And maybe we can get our hands on one of that and take a look at it and do a little review about it and see what's going on with that. But that is my little spiel about Thermaltake. They do some pretty awesome stuff. Which brings me to the next part of the show, which is Products 101. Some people, because I saw this on the PCMR Facebook page, some people want to argue about thermal paste, and I kind of wanted to just go into it quickly about what thermal paste does and how it basically transfers the heat from the chip to the heatsink. However, it was more along the lines of when you're nitpicking. All right, because I need to replace the general topic is I need to replace my thermal paste on my GPU. I got the thermal pads. I just need to know if I should stick with Arctic or go with Corsair. Jonathan's saying, I just use what's near me, LOL. Yeah, pretty much. And we regularly stock a whole bunch of Arctic Silver. We have a couple different versions of different pastes that are out and available. However, I wanted to talk about, because like they have grease, and then they have compound, and then they have paste, which is relatively all the same crap. And then they have, what is the other stuff? Well, the liquid metal, obviously. I was trying to find the adhesive. However, basically, when it comes down to it, there is almost no difference when it comes to the standard issue silver grease, thermal paste, thermal compound, until you go to a different composite, which is like thermal grizzly. We don't carry them. That's for a whole nother different reason. However, if you really want those 2 to 3 degrees difference and pay an extra $20 for your thermal paste, have at it. However, we just use Arctic Silver, which is basic thermal compound. And relatively speaking, thermal compound is roughly the same thing as thermal grease, and it's going to do almost the exact same thermal properties as the regular any of it. The only little bit of difference is that you have the ceramic stuff. And what I was reading is that the ceramic paste is sometimes recommended more because it has less electrical conductivity. So if you make a mistake, it might not be as tragic, and you might be able to get away with some of it spilling off. Obviously, you're not really supposed to have any of it spill off. You're supposed to do a nice, well, we like to do the X or the lines or whatever, but when you're applying it and whatnot, it's going to basically do the exact same thing as Arctic Silver 5. It's almost identical. The only difference, majorly, is that it has a lower electrical conductivity, and then it also has no curing time, right? So the thermal paste or the ceramic stuff is just as soon as you apply it, when you turn it on, that's what it is. Boom. Those temperatures are what you're going to get. Now, with Arctic Silver 5, there is a little bit of a cure time, so the temperatures might change just slightly. But again, you're talking like minimal differences between the two. Now, if anybody else knows any more information about that, please feel free to pipe in on the chat. I would love to hear what you have to say. Again, if you really are worried about that crazy 3 to 4 degree difference, then have at it, but you pay for what you get. You still get the same tiny little baby syringe for triple, if not quadruple the price. So, but if you guys are looking for but looking for thermal paste, which kind of rhymes with thermal take, you go on our website over here on the categories, you scroll down underneath liquid, you have thermal compound, and that's where you're actually going to have all of that. Now, thermal compound is completely different than thermal adhesive. Let's talk about that for a second. And we'll also talk about liquid metal as well. The thermal adhesive is actually a two-part. I don't know if you guys know what JB Weld is, but it's a two-part mixture that you put together that is actually going to physically put together and make like a glue between the chip and the cooler, right? Or the plate or whatever it might be. Now this is the same with liquid metal as well, which is a crazy more intense version of thermal paste. It takes a little while to cure. You have to heat it up quite a bit in order to actually get it to meld correctly. And then what it's going to do is it is going to form like an adhesive type of bond between the two pieces. The liquid metal is very, very picky and finicky and can be a real pain to use. However, there are some major thermal differences between that and thermal paste. So if you guys are interested in doing that, we can talk about that next time, and we'll go a little bit more in depth on liquid metal, and we can maybe even show you how to apply it and how it can be used. However, that is it for Product 101. I just wanted to show you that and at least share a little bit of knowledge about the differences between them. So, what else I have for today is just something kind of small. Well, it's not really kind of small. It's actually kind of huge. Let's see what I got here. I got this awesome box. So, I figured what we could do is we could actually open that up together and see what the lovely people at Gigabyte ended up sending us. Because, to be honest with you, I don't know. but we shall see. I'll bring it over here so you guys can see me open it here. We are working with Gigabyte and AMD, and we're actually going to be putting a crazy mod together to compete with the current computer that is actually working. The 7920X with the 2080 Ti Black, and 64 gigs of RAM and all sorts of stuff. AMD came to us when we were at PAX and said, hey, have you guys ever thought about using the Threadripper? And I said, no. To be honest with you, I haven't used an AMD ever, and I got all sorts of haterade for them. But if you think you can convince me otherwise, and you can maybe sway me in some way, I will build another computer, and we can do a render showdown. How about that? And they were like, yeah, let's do it. We'll get you a new Threadripper. We'll get you some other hardware, and let's do a showdown between your 7920X and the new. It is a 3960X AMD processor. So I'm like, okay, all right. I have now been put in my place, AMD. Let's see what happens, right? So I'm like, all right, well, I got to contact Gigabyte because I don't know anything about this AMD stuff. I know that you need special RAM. I know that you need a couple different things. And, well, we're going to be upgrading and stuff like that. So we should probably have good hard drives. We should have, M.2s to compete with the, because what I have is Optanes in there now. So they're the 900p M.2 drives that are unbelievably fast. And it's all on all the other storage is also M.2. So it's quite possibly one of the fastest PCs I've ever really used, ever. When it comes to rendering, doing graphics, animation, any of it, right? So I talked to AORUS, and they said, all right, fine, we'll help you out. We'd be happy to help you out, actually. Let's talk about some new SSDs and maybe the new motherboard and maybe some other stuff. And funny enough, Travis, right on top here, is one of the NVMe Gen 4 SSDs. We actually have quite a few of them in here. And the reason that we have a couple of them in here is because we are actually going to be using one of those new PCIe M.2 drives. That actually goes in on a 16x slot or a 4x slot or whatever. And we will be putting a whole bunch of, these SSDs into the computer when we build it here. Yeah, there's another one, and there's another one, and there's one more. Okay, all right. So we got a lot of storage, that's for sure. So we got plenty of storage for the new AMD build, and plenty of places to put everything, which is great. A big thank you to them. That's fantastic. The PCI carrier is for 4 M.2s. Yes, so we have those, and we have a couple for the OS. So that is fantastic. And then they were nice enough to send us, bam, look at that. It's a 2080 Ti Turbo. It's the 3 gig, 11 gig. 2080 Ti, and this is the blower version, but again, we're a modding company, so that won't stay for much longer. So we will take this out, and we will put in a nice water block on there. Real nice. It'd be nice, yes. So, last but not least, what we got in this, oh god, Jesus, this thing's actually quite a bit heavier than I thought it would be. Watch a fat guy struggle with a box on this week's ModMyMods news update. Get. Okay. I got a TRX40 AORUS Extreme board. Pretty. I haven't actually seen one of these in person. It's a big board. It's got all sorts of things on it. You guys want to take a look at it? You wanna look and see what we got here? Because to be honest with you, let's see. Let's pull it out. Okay, let's see who do we got here. I gotta check my comments. Hold on one second. PCI 4 rendering. Yes, a new PC build is on my to-do list, awaiting things to start coming back in stock. Yes, everybody has had issues with getting stuff in stock. Even we have issues getting any of the power supplies from our lovely backer EVGA. They are fantastic, let me tell you. However, it's hard for anyone to get any sort of products that are from overseas. The reason being is because they stopped a lot of the air travel. Any of the air freight and stuff like that is completely on hold because of this whole COVID thing. So everything is coming via boat. And because the boats are so backed up, and most of them are packed together with like containers that have PPE stuff on it, so like figure it's like a 9-to-1 ratio. So like 9 of the containers are PPE, and then 1 might be some supplies for computer stuff. That's it. So we're kind of having an issue obtaining that stuff. I think everybody's having that issue. Same with Gigabyte as well. I mean, this has been a long time coming. That's for sure. Travis, Gigabyte has yet to respond to me. To be honest with you, 4 months. It's just the way that it's going because of everybody that is having to work from home and everything else like that. So sometimes they do take a little bit of time to actually get back to people. So just keep pestering them occasionally. You know, just hey, I didn't forget about you type of thing. So that's definitely something to consider. I've been debating the 3900 or the 3950 build on an AORUS Extreme 570. If I remember correctly, the 3900 is the... I don't remember what the difference is between the two. The 3900, I thought, had less cores than the 3950. Okay, yeah, that's what Travis is saying. 12 core versus 16 core. That's what I thought it was. Okay. But again, remember with all of your cores and everything like that, you have to have the RAM to back it up. A lot of people forget about that. You know, just because you have 12 cores and whatever means that you have to have a certain number of gigs per core to actually push that CPU to its fullest extent. So that's actually kind of the problem that I'm running into with this motherboard here. Is the fact that I've got like 8 slots that I gotta fill here, and it's unbelievable, unbelievable. Holy cow, this thing is heavy. This is like almost as heavy as a water sport. No, there's nothing heavier than a water force board, but this thing is unbelievably heavy. So I'm actually gonna take it out of the wrapping for you, so we can do this together, guys. Let's see what we got. Oh. And there she be. All in her pride and glory, right there. It's not bad. I like it. It's kind of neat. That's some big old heatsink on the top there. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And then the cool part is that it actually has a nice, I'm pretty sure this is aluminum, but it's an aluminum frame on the back of it. So that's going to prevent shortages, theoretically. And then it's also going to help with some of the cooling too, because it's not actually touching the back of the motherboard. As I'm looking behind here, there's actually like a separation between it, which is kind of nice. But again, what I was saying about the whole memory thing is that you need a lot of memory in order to make a CPU with 12, 16, 20, 30 cores or whatever work. So what needs to happen, unfortunately, is that we need somebody to help us with some memory and some fans for this build. I'm going to talk to Thermaltake and see if they'll be able to help us out and willing to help us out here, because I want to be able to compete with this 7920X board, which has 64 gigs of RAM in it right now. But I think that we should push it a little especially because we have that ridiculous amount of cores on the AMD build. So let me see what I can do. I will talk to somebody and see if I can get us some RAM. But so that's the motherboard. Now I'm hoping that underneath here, because there's some motherboard, there's your standard issue sticker pack, which usually gets stuck on whatever. And then, yeah, baby. Okay, there's your manual and all that stuff, all your extra motherboard accessory garbage underneath there. And then what it comes with, yeah, baby. This is what I was looking for. Perfect. I need help with my memory. That's not very nice. It's not very nice. You're right. I do need help with my memory. Short-term memory loss is a son of a gun. But this is actually the Gigabyte PCI M.2 card adapter that actually, I'm pretty sure it glows and it lights up RGB. I could be wrong. But what it does is it comes apart and you put 4 M.2s on there. And they can actually act as a RAID. And you can do all sorts of unbelievably fast transfer speeds and transfer rates with this guy. So I'm really excited to use that. Going to use this with the Gen 4 M.2s. Now, a note is that if you do go and buy this particular board and get this PCI M.2 card, it is you have to have Gen 4 M.2 SSDs in order for it to work. Otherwise, they will not show up. And that's true with a lot of different PCI cards that are like this, the M.2 adapter PCI cards. Because, actually, honestly, to be honest with you, I have no idea why the Gen 4s are what you need. But I know in order to obtain the highest transfer speeds and the fastest rates, you need the Gen 4s, period. That's what it comes down to. So that being said, I think that's a pretty awesome little setup here and pretty amazing board that I'm going to put together here with again with that AMD chip. I'm pretty excited for. So that should be quite fun. They're more for RAID is what Shellback is telling me. Yes, and that's honestly what I'm hoping to do, because what I'll do is I'll set up these M.2 terabytes in a RAID setup. That way I don't end up losing any of the drives. So that is pretty much it. Again, that's about all I got for today. Golden Hunter and Tweedler Locket, you guys, I don't know why the hell you're even allowed in here. So, gonna give you guys the band hammer next. Keep it up, no big deal. Thanks again for joining us this afternoon. You guys are fantastic. Hopefully we'll have some more information about this different motherboard and the AMD build that we're putting together. But that is all for today. Hopefully you guys had a little bit of fun and got a little bit of information. And hopefully you guys are beating the heat, because it is unbelievably hot in here, and I need to go take a shower now. So, have a wonderful afternoon. We will catch up with you on Friday, and stay safe out there.